Many people assumed he'd be nothing more than a backup at best, or perhaps a long-term developmental project. It's extremely rare for a player drafted that late to even be considered for a starting role. Typically, fifth-round quarterbacks are labeled as raw prospects who need years before they're ready to contribute. But Shedeur Sanders is rewriting that narrative. Instead of quietly waiting in the shadows, Sanders is leaving a visible imprint during OTAS. He's commanding huddles with authority, staying poised under high-pressure situations, and earning the respect of coaches with his sharp decision-making. It's become clear he didn't arrive simply to observe and learn. He came to compete. His performance has shifted the entire conversation, planting him firmly in the mix for the starting role. What originally looked like a low-profile draft pick is rapidly turning into a daring move with massive upside. The buzz surrounding Shedeur Sanders is skyrocketing, making him one of the most talked-about players in Cleveland this offseason. Ordinarily, when you're drafted in the 4th round or later, you're instantly stuck running with the second-team offense. More often than not, even third-rounders are relegated to backup duties. Shedeur, though, has been forced even lower, still taking snaps with the 4th unit. Yet the coaching staff has insisted that every quarterback will have a fair opportunity. NFL insider Peter Schrager believes this season could be a defining turning point for Sanders. Despite being a 5th-round selection, Schrager reported that Sanders will get a legitimate shot to play, something almost unheard of for mid-round rookie quarterbacks. That says volumes about how much belief the Browns already have in his talent. They're not just stashing him away to slowly develop over time, they truly see him as someone capable of making an impact immediately. Quarterback always dominates the conversation, and the Browns are clearly juggling tough choices. With Sanders and Gabriel in the mix, alongside veteran options, the front office faces decisions about whether to keep multiple veterans or to put faith in their rookies. But as open training sessions approach, there's only one name on fans' lips: Shedeur Sanders. Ownership is firmly backing him, and Cleveland fans are buzzing with hope after landing one of the most electrifying quarterback prospects in recent memory. Shedeur has quickly captured the hearts of the fan base, and the excitement around him feels genuine. Across the city, from young fans to diehards, everyone is eager to watch him unleash his talent up close. The energy is unmistakable, and with the front office pushing for him to lead the franchise, this training camp is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated in years. Fans are ready to flood the stands to watch him perform. For Sanders, this moment is the culmination of relentless dedication. He stayed locked in throughout OTAs and mini-camps, even when things didn't break his way. Though he didn't always get the reps he wanted, he never lost sight of the bigger picture. As he explained himself, it's all about how you respond to those situations. That mindset has fueled his relentless work ethic. Where others may have sulked or slowed down, Sanders turned setbacks into fuel, sharpening his game and staying laser-focused. That persistence is now paying off. He's climbing the depth chart, and the Browns have taken notice. What began as a promising rookie campaign has transformed into something bigger. Sanders has emerged as a critical piece of the franchise's future. With ownership behind him and growing confidence from leadership, he's no longer viewed as just a project. He's now the frontrunner for the starting quarterback job. At first, there was hesitation from both the front office and coaching staff. But Sanders' performance in camp has forced them to reconsider. Minds have changed, and the storyline has shifted. At this point, it's hard to picture anyone else commanding the huddle as QB1. The excitement doesn't stop with the organization. Cleveland itself is rallying behind him. From kids in jerseys to lifelong supporters, the city is united in belief. For them, Shedeur represents more than a quarterback. He's a symbol of hope and possibility. His rise has breathed new energy into the community, and every passing day makes it clearer. He's not going anywhere. The Shedeur Sanders era has officially begun in Cleveland, and fans are ready to follow his lead. Of course, this puts Kevin Stefanski in a delicate position. With ownership pushing for Sanders and the rookie continuing to deliver, the pressure is mounting. Will Stefanski stick stubbornly to his original plan, or will the front office's influence and Sanders' undeniable play force his hand? And just when things couldn't get any more chaotic, the New York Giants stirred up controversy. The Giants dangled a clip from their supposedly exclusive interview with Shedeur Sanders, then slammed the vault shut on the rest like it was classified Pentagon intel. Was this a deliberate PR stunt or just a backhanded attempt at sabotage? Either way, their silence speaks louder than any press release. Fans aren't swallowing this watered-down version of transparency. They're calling it what it looks like, an orchestrated smear campaign. And while the critics are loud, Sanders' supporters are even louder. Word leaked that he had another sit-down with a different team. According to insiders, it didn't go smoothly. He was reportedly furious that they pulled one of those cheap evaluation tricks, slipping in intentional mistakes to see if the quarterback would catch them. Instead of treating it as a test, Sanders took it personally, confronting them directly. The same stunt they pull on every QB prospect, they tried on him. He just wasn't having it. Let's call it like it is. The Giants have turned the art of the tease into a comedy act. We've got more, but we're not showing you. That's their routine, and the joke's on them. It's like watching a clown boo himself off stage. Want more? Too bad. They're guarding it like Grandma's secret lasagna recipe. Congratulations, Giants. You've managed to become the star of TikTok X and Aunt Barbara's Facebook feed. The unholy trinity of online outrage. This whole saga screams drama, reeks of pettiness, and absolutely reeks of PR disaster. Fans aren't begging anymore. They're demanding release the full tape before people show up at headquarters with pitchforks and popcorn. The drama didn't stop there. Word spread about the Giants' GM laughing it up on tape, asking his own son for draft advice last year. The kid told him, "Take Jaden Daniels," and the GM chuckled before brushing it off. Now somehow, that tape got out too. Sloppy, reckless, embarrassing. It's everything you don't want leaking when your credibility is already under fire. Meanwhile, Sanders, the so-called poster boy for hype, is soaking it all in like it's just another day at practice. The irony couldn't be thicker. The Giants tried to paint him as Flash with no foundation, a paper tiger. Instead, they accidentally turned him into the hottest talking point in sports media. They tried to bury the narrative, but all they did was engrave it in bold. Classic case of ignoring a storm until it grows into a hurricane, keeping his name alive better than his own PR team ever could. And let's be honest, if Sanders' interview was really that unprofessional, the Giants would have already dropped the full tape for the entire world to dissect. But they didn't. Which tells you everything you need to know. It's all whispers, leaks, and half-truths. For Sanders, this is nothing new. As a young black quarterback, he's used to being scrutinized harder, judged quicker, and written off sooner. His straightforward, no-nonsense approach doesn't always play well in rooms where sugarcoating is the expectation. But fans? They're not buying the Giants' excuse factory. They want receipts. The internet's response was volcanic. That one little clip ignited a firestorm. Fans lit up social media demanding, why hide the good stuff? What are you covering up? If there's nothing to fear, why not release the full video? The backlash spread faster than fireworks on the 4th of July. And here's the ultimate irony. By refusing to release the full interview, the Giants thought they were protecting themselves and hurting Sanders. Instead, they poured jet fuel on his hype train. Rather than shutting the conversation down, they made sure it'll dominate the headlines for weeks. The noise coming out of Brown's training camp isn't just about the rookie starters or the quarterback battle. Those storylines are already loaded with drama. But what's truly catching everyone off guard is something nobody saw coming. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and drop your thoughts about our matchup with the Eagles down below. Now let's talk about a 5'8", 177-pound undrafted wide receiver who's suddenly commanding attention, Gage Larvidane. Remember his name because he could end up being the biggest shocker on this roster, and it's about time the league started noticing. While all eyes have stayed locked on names like Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and Mason Graham, something quietly electric has been brewing in the background. Larvidane has been torching practices, and after a strong preseason debut, he's forcing his way into the Browns roster conversation. Jeff Lloyd of the Orange and Brown Report went public with his stance, flat out urging the front office, Gage Larvidane needs to make the 53. And here's why. He's not just showing up, he's producing. In his preseason debut against the Panthers, Larvidane snagged 2 of his 3 targets for 23 yards and punched in a 4-yard rushing touchdown. That's not just hustle, that's impact. But the path here wasn't smooth. Larvidane's college career was a winding road. 3 different schools, inconsistent roles, and a final season at South Carolina that didn't exactly scream NFL ready. 19 catches, 223 yards, and a single touchdown. That resume left him undrafted. Now, in a Browns offense still searching for explosiveness after a sluggish 2024 campaign, Larvidane might be providing exactly what this team has been missing. The Browns didn't add many big-name upgrades at receiver this offseason, and the urgency is obvious. They need someone, anyone, who can stretch the field. Larvidane, with his burst, shiftiness, and fearless approach, could be that guy. He's not a towering red zone threat, but he's a pure speedster, and this offense is screaming for one. Of course, he's not the only rookie turning heads. The quarterback competition has become one of the hottest stories of the entire preseason. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, 2 rookie QBs from the 2025 draft, are battling alongside veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. The numbers only tell part of the story, though. Pressure, injuries, and timing are shaping this battle in unexpected ways. Gabriel got the start against the Eagles and looked sharp early, completing 13 of 18 passes for 138 yards. But then, disaster struck. A pick six by Andrew Makuba and a botched handoff that turned into a fumble. Head coach Kevin Stefanski didn't sugarcoat it. That can never happen. We can't do that as a football team. Still, he admitted there were positives in Gabriel's poise and third down efficiency. Sanders, meanwhile, couldn't play due to a strained oblique. Brutal timing for a rookie fighting his way up the depth chart. But rewind to the Browns' preseason opener, and you see a quarterback who looked like he belonged. 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Efficient, steady. Enough to spark the question, if healthy, could Sanders leapfrog the veterans? The injury bug hasn't spared anyone. Sanders has missed practices. Gabriel sat out the opener with a hamstring tweak. Even Pickett's had his share of bumps. The battle is far from settled, but one thing's clear. Cleveland's camp is becoming one of the most unpredictable and fascinating storylines in the NFL. The buzz in Browns training camp isn't just about the rookie headlines or the ongoing quarterback saga. Those storylines are already dripping with drama. But what's unfolding now feels bigger. It's about survival, identity, and opportunity. Let's take a snapshot of the numbers. As of the latest camp updates, Shedeur Sanders, 70 of 100, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Joe Flacco, 91 completions on 151 attempts, 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. Kenny Pickett, ultra-efficient at 75% completion, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dillon Gabriel, 87 of 160, 11 touchdowns, the highest of the group, but 2 costly interceptions. Each quarterback brings a different flavor. Flacco brings experience, Pickett offers precision, Gabriel shows aggression, and Sanders delivers efficiency and ball security. But for Sanders, this isn't just a fight for the starting role. It's a fight to stay on the 53-man roster. Every single snap matters. That pressure only intensifies with his strained oblique, keeping him sidelined against the Eagles. His availability for the preseason finale versus the Rams is now critical. Stefanski himself called it a dress rehearsal, a final chance for players to prove they belong under the lights of a regular season schedule. And so, here we are, Browns fans, staring at one of the most unpredictable quarterback competitions this franchise has seen in years. Yet while QBs dominate the spotlight, a new hero is emerging in the shadows, Gage Larvidane. At 5 feet 8 inches, 177 pounds, undrafted, overlooked and doubted, Larvidane has become the fan favorite no one saw coming. His preseason debut against the Panthers wasn't just a cameo, it was a statement. 2 receptions for 23 yards and a 4-yard rushing touchdown. That's production. That's impact. Larvidane's story is everything Cleveland loves. The underdog scrapper, clawing for every rep, every inch, every chance. His winding college journey through 3 schools and a quiet final year at South Carolina left him undrafted. But now, in a receiver room that desperately lacks a vertical threat, Larvidane might just be the answer. His speed stretches defenses. His fight turns practice reps into highlight reels, and if the coaches value tape over pedigree, he could pull off the unthinkable. Meanwhile, the quarterback puzzle grows more fascinating by the day. Flacco's steady hand is hard to ignore. Pickett's accuracy is razor-sharp. Gabriel flashes explosive playmaking, but struggles with costly turnovers. And Sanders, his first preseason outing, showed poise, control, and dual-threat potential. But in this league, injuries don't wait for development. An opportunity doesn't wait twice. Circle the date, August 23rd, Browns versus Rams, the final preseason showdown. More than just a game. It could shape the entire identity of the 2025 Browns. For Larvidane, it's the chance to prove grit outweighs pedigree. For Sanders, it's the moment to silence doubts and remind the staff why he was drafted. For Stefanski and his staff, it's decision time. And then comes September 7th, the regular season opener against the division rival Bengals. That's not just a game, it's a statement. Whoever lines up under center will carry the weight of Cleveland's hopes. Whoever lines up wide could become the unexpected hero this city rallies behind. So, Dog Pound, the stage is set, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Will Gage Larvidane complete one of the most improbable climbs onto an NFL roster? Will Shedeur Sanders recover in time to seize his moment? Or will injury derail a breakout preseason? And which quarterback do you trust most to lead this team into the fire of the AFC North? Drop your takes in the comments. We want to hear from every corner of the Dog Pound. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single camp update, deep dive, or exclusive story. The season is long. The journey is just beginning, and we're riding through every snap with you. Imagine rooting for a franchise that constantly preaches change, yet stumbles into the same pitfalls year after year. A team that speaks about evolution and commitment to the future, but somehow always circles back to square one. No matter how many times they vow they've learned, their actions echo the opposite. Meanwhile, the fans, passionate, loyal, but exhausted, sit front row to another chapter in a saga that refuses to stop repeating itself. And just when you think nothing could possibly shock you anymore, along comes another decision that forces you to ask, will this cycle ever truly end? Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts below. Now, once again, the Cleveland Browns stand in the eye of a storm they themselves can't seem to escape. What's happening isn't coincidence, isn't bad luck. It's a fully developed organizational identity crisis. When rookie running back Quinshon Judkins was arrested on domestic violence charges, it marked the third such incident involving a Browns player in the span of a year. Yet when owner Jimmy Haslam stepped to the microphone at training camp, instead of offering accountability, he offered frustration. According to his own words, frustration without solutions. And that's where the real story begins. We're not communicating as well as we should, Haslam admitted, standing alongside his wife Dee, reinforcing the image of shared ownership. We talk about it continually, and it's something we need to do a better job on. But here's the truth. This isn't new. The Browns have had a culture problem when it comes to player conduct, especially violence against women. And it's not a culture they've simply overlooked. It's one they've enabled. The clearest message was sent with Deshaun Watson's 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract. That wasn't just a signing, it was a declaration. Talent matters more than character. Even when Haslam later admitted trading for Watson was a mistake, he clarified it wasn't because of the sexual assault allegations that followed the quarterback, it was because of football logistics. That single detail tells you everything about what truly matters inside Berea. Now pause for a moment. Ask yourself, in your workplace, if 3 employees were tied to violence or misconduct allegations in 1 year, what would leadership do? Would they rewrite policies, establish accountability, create real change? Or would they shrug, call it frustrating, and move on? Because in Cleveland, that's exactly what's happening. For the record, Judkins' case was dropped due to insufficient evidence. That doesn't mean guilty. That doesn't mean innocent. It means unresolved. And in that fog, the Browns found their comfort zone. No internal punishment, no suspension, no consequences, business as usual. And then, days later, they doubled down. signing rookie receiver Isaiah Bond, who had also faced sexual assault allegations. Once projected as a Day 2 draft pick, Bond went undrafted after the accusations. A Texas grand jury declined to indict him. Again, not guilty, not innocent, unresolved. To the Browns, that wasn't a red flag. It was an opportunity. Bond immediately filed a federal complaint against his accuser, claiming he had been targeted and manipulated. A strong counter-narrative, one easy for fans to rally behind, especially in a sports culture quick to discredit accusers when the accused has talent. And let's be real, that's not just a Browns problem, it's an NFL problem, a sports problem, a societal problem. But in Cleveland, it's becoming a signature. The pattern is undeniable, so repetitive that even the most die-hard fans are beginning to ask, how much longer can we keep defending this? Haslam insists they talk about it, internally, externally, through speakers, workshops, and meetings. But actions scream louder than words, and the Browns' actions scream one thing: we'll keep doing this if it helps us win. And while leadership sidesteps the hard questions, the field demands answers. Thank you guys, see you next video.